what's going on, guys? Rich Schnyderite here, publisher of Nittany Nation. I'm joined by Rivals recruiting analyst Adam Friedman. Adam, what's going on?
What's up, Richie? Good to see you again. Cool to talk some Penn State stuff with you now.
Yeah, it's a little different, but man, what a hell of a recruiting class so far.
Yeah.
We were just talking about it. 7 of the top 10 kids in Pennsylvania? I think 10 overall from the state of Pennsylvania. Most are from the areas that you're actually in charge of. So talk to me a little bit about this Penn State 2022 class.
Yeah, I mean, it's really impressive. They did a great job laying the foundation for this class early on, and it has paid off in a big way. Dennis Sutton, the 5-star defensive end out of McDonough, that's really become a pipeline for them. They're getting a ton of really talented players out of there, and Denai is a special prospect. He's coming back well from an arm injury earlier in the season, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's able to do once he gets up to Happy Valley and is 100% again. We've seen a lot of these guys, though. I'm looking through their commitment list right now. I've seen almost all of these commits within this calendar year. Kaden Saunders was awesome this offseason and is continuing to be that way during the season. He's a sure-handed receiver, phenomenal route runner, not a complete burner, but he creates so much separation between him and the defensive backs just because of his route running and his explosiveness. He's going to be quarterbacks' best friend. Drew Alar, obviously lighting the world on fire right now, future quarterback of the Nittany Lions. They would love to have him on campus right now, I'm sure. But the future is bright on both sides of the ball for Penn State. They're bringing in a lot of talent. The running back duo, Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, two guys I'm fairly close with. I've known Katron since he was a freshman in high school in Virginia Beach. He was a big-time player then, and he's really come into his own now. There's so many of them we can talk about here, but Penn State really getting a nice influx of talent in this recruiting class.
So you mentioned him before, and you mentioned they'd love to have him right now. Drew Alar, how good can he be? Is this like I hate to say it because freshmen obviously don't start right away at quarterback, but how good can he be? Can he be that day one guy maybe?
I would be surprised if he was day one guy, but I certainly will not be surprised when we see him on the field during his freshman season. He's going to see the time. He needs to get acclimated to the college game, get ready for that speed that he's going to see. But he's got a ton of talent. He throws a great ball, huge arm, more mobile than people give him credit for. And there's a lot to work with for this Penn State offensive coaching staff.
And the running game struggled a little bit this year for Penn State. It's been up and down. But they're adding 2 Rivals 250 guys in Singleton and Allen. How good could these two be? I hate to say potential day one starters, but they need help back there. And could these guys be it?
Yeah, I mean, Penn State, they do a great job of rotating their backs. A lot of guys getting a lot of touches, and Singleton and Allen are going to see time as freshmen. They're going to get on the field, and it's really about keeping those fresh legs, making sure that when injuries do happen, and not if, when injuries do happen, they have another guy that can step up and carry the load. And you're seeing that right now. Penn State does have a lot of experience in the backfield, and these two guys, Singleton and Allen, are going to be really important pieces down the road.
So I know I said it in the intro, most of these guys are from the areas that you cover for recruiting. Who's the number one guy? And I don't want to hear the cop-out answer that's Dennis Sutton, but if you want to pick him, I'll allow it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, when he's on, he's really on. This season, though, he hasn't really been 100%, so it's hard to call him that top dog in this class. I really like what Saunders has been doing. Flowers is such a talented defensive back. He's going to end up playing safety, I think, over there. And I'm a really big fan of what he's able to do on the field. He's so rangy. He's got great ball skills. He does a really good job anticipating. I'm a big fan of what he's able to do. I did see Abdul Carter earlier this year, and this was my first time really getting a close look at him up close and personal in a game. And the guy is a big hitter. He is all over the field. He's gonna, if he keeps growing, he might end up as a defensive end, but as a stand-up linebacker, he does a great job finding the ball. He does a great job making sure that when he hits a ball carrier, they go backwards. And I'm a big fan of his range right now as a linebacker. We'll see if he's able to keep that speed as he continues to get bigger. KJ Winston yeah, I see as a potential riser when the rankings come out in I think it's early December when the next rankings update comes out. Yes, before the rank or before the early signing period. KJ Winston, I've known for quite a long time. I know him when he was a running back as a freshman, and now as a big time safety prospect. He's a special player. I mean, he can do it all, really. Kick return, receiver, as a safety. I've seen him a couple of times already this season. I'm sure I'll see him at least one more time in the playoffs, in the WCAC conference playoffs in November, December. But he's a big time player for sure.
So I know it's a weird question to ask since all these guys are pretty highly rated. Who would you say is the biggest sleeper in this class? We talk a bunch about all the high 4-stars, even the 5-star in Sutton, but who's the biggest sleeper here?
Yeah, I don't think Anthony Ivy gets enough talk. Ken Talley does enough talking for everybody, I think, but he's going to be a good one too, I think. But I don't think Anthony Ivy gets enough headlines. Really sure-handed, reliable receiver who's going to come up in big situations there. I think he deserves a little bit more national attention. He's been just so solidly committed to Penn State for so long that reporters basically don't need to worry about him anymore. But from an evaluation standpoint, he's got a lot of talent there. I think he's going to find his niche pretty quickly in that receiving room and make some waves eventually when he gets on the field. So that's one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, you're talking to all these guys all the time. What are they saying about this staff? What's I guess their main selling point? Is it just Penn State's selling point, or is it like the history, or what is the staff telling these guys?
I think it's the consistency of what Penn State's been able to do over the last 4, 5, 6 years with James Franklin there. They've continued outside of last year. We throw that one away. This team has had consistent success on the field, churned out big time college football and NFL prospects. These guys develop. That's one of the things that college coaches love to talk about, but Penn State actually does it. These players leave much better and much bigger, much stronger, much faster than when they get there. And I think that's a big point for Penn State on the recruiting trail. And these coaches do a phenomenal job building relationships with these players from an early age. And that, as we know, relationships are the key to recruiting. And that has paid off in some big ways for sure.
So now, obviously, switching a little bit over to 2023, they already have 4 commitments. Just got one from Joey Schlafler, I believe.
Schlafler, yeah.
So, we'll talk about this class a little bit. Obviously, some pretty highly ranked guys already in Barnwell and Birchmeyer, I believe you spell it or pronounce it.
Yeah, those guys are great. Lamont Payne, too. Lamont Payne and Birchmeyer and Barnwell are the really outspoken kind of leaders of this recruiting class already. They're going to help bring in a lot of other big time recruits. And right now, one of the areas that I think is a big area of focus for the Penn State staff, but also these recruits we just talked about, is recruiting that Western Pennsylvania area. It is loaded with talent in the 23 class. Tamir Robinson, Rodney Gallagher, right atop that list with Lamont Payne. And then that's going to help parlay their success into the 24 class, potentially with Quentin Martin, a major national recruit in the 24 class, already an early 4-star for us. So I think that those guys are a couple to watch in Western Pennsylvania. Inside the state of Virginia, where Birchmeyer lives, watch out for Joshua Miller. He just visited pretty recently up there at Penn State, and I think the Nittany Lions have a great shot at landing his commitment. They're battling Clemson as well, but also in the state of Pennsylvania, you see Samaj Bridgman, you see James Hurd. These guys are major prospects. Mason Robinson is Denai Dennis Sutton's current teammate. I would say definitely keep an eye on him. And Javen Williams, an up and coming offensive lineman, really blew up in the early part of this season. An offensive lineman out of Wyomissing in Pennsylvania. I think he's a name to really keep an eye on for Penn State down the road.
So now I guess this intertwines with recruiting a little bit, and I hate to bring it up, and I know fans are going to give me a little bit of crap for it, but obviously the rumors are out there. James Franklin, the USC. What are you hearing from recruits? Are recruits nervous at all, or is Franklin kind of just reassuring them that he's not going anywhere?
Yeah, you don't hear too much about recruits being nervous right now. They know it's part of the process. You go to a school that the big name head coach, he's going to get mentioned for jobs, and this isn't the first job he's been mentioned with, and it certainly won't be the last one. So you just kind of keep your head down, do your job, and keep working, and trust the coaches when they say trust them. that's all you can really do. And we'll see what happens as the season rolls on. There's the early signing period, and then there's the late signing period. So if there's really some lingering questions for these recruits, you might see some of them hold off until February, but you never know. USC is a big job out there, obviously. So is LSU. We'll see what happens there. It'd be interesting to see what happens with Coach Franklin and LSU, though. His SEC ties, obviously, through Vanderbilt, and the AD over there is a big game hunter. So we'll see what happens. But I don't think these players are too worried about it just yet.
So now 2022 is ranked number 4 in the nation at the moment. 2023 is, I'm not sure exactly where they're ranked currently. Early
4.
on, no, they're also 4.
Yeah.
So I mean, where are these classes going to finish at? I know 2022 is kind of done almost, whereas 2023 has got a long, long way to go.
Yeah, there's some highly rated prospects on the 23 board for Penn State, and some really good players that they're already on that I think will be risers in the rankings eventually, and that could bode well for their overall rankings. It's hard to tell where they're going to end up, obviously, in the 23 class, but in the 22 class, they're definitely going to stay in the top 10. It'd be interesting to see if they can stay in the top 5 with this class already being so full. I'm not sure how many more highly rated targets are out there for them to really help move them up anymore, because you see some of these teams, really turning it on right now. Georgia really blew past everybody pretty quickly there. Alabama's on their way, and there's a few others that are lurking right now.
Awesome. Perfect, Adam. That's really all I got for you. I'm sure we'll see you soon on the boards. We'll probably do another video as soon as another commitment happens, which, as you said before, it could be soon.
Could be very soon. Yes. Yeah. Keep an eye on that in 22 or 23 for sure.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Adam. I'll talk to you.
Thanks, Richie.